Slipways are really old technology. What we find today is that the floating dry dock, which was itself old technology, with all modern techniques and the refurb, has become new again. We now can actually bring the work to us or take the dock away if needs be, to be able to bring a vessel in at any tide, raise that vessel out of the water and then clean it in daylight hours, not being tide dependent, not working through the night, means that we can fit in with today's confines of residential developments, as well as comply to all current environmental laws and even exceed best practice. The environmental advantages of this new state-of-the-art floating dry dock is that we can contain all runoff. No water itself will run into Sydney Harbour. We can also contain the noise because within itself, even though some people see it as a big steel drum, we've come up with some fantastic Australian innovation technology for the sound deadening, if you like. So the sound itself is all contained within the dock. And also, air quality wise, we're now looking at a carbon filter. Existing environmental laws for boatyards do not put forward for air quality a carbon filter. We're now looking at putting all the air that's created from activities within the dock will go through a water scrubber, then into the air filter, which is a carbon filter. The environment that we're going to create from having the floating dry dock means to be above best practice, means that we can actually use the system that we're putting in place at the dock to filter all the air that is currently being used within Noakes Boatyard hard stand. So we've come up with a plan to not do concurrent work. So if we're working within the floating dock, we're not actually doing that same activity on the hard stand. So it's not an increase of activity, it's a containment of the current activity with better practice. The way I see the future of Noakes is that we've worked diligently to work with our surrounding environment, and we're not just talking about the environment of gum trees and the water. What we're talking about is the environment of the people that live in and around our boatyard. So by bringing in the dock within our own water lease means that we're not actually increasing our footprint. And what we're able to do by bringing the dock here is look at a longer sustainable future for the site itself. The lack of any opportunity for runoff from the slipway by using the slipway only for heritage vessel under absolute stringent conditions. Having the dock within Noakes' own backyard, having it within our confines of our seabed. To me, things that float and infrastructure, the harbour bridge, they're all interesting to me. From my side of things, we're taking on whatever comments and feedback, and we're working with the local community to alleviate those fears. There's one thing to talk about the romance of having a boutique boatyard or a shipyard in Sydney Harbour. Now we've gone from we like the idea of working harbour to it's absolutely essential. We have to have infrastructure to support the boats that are plying the harbour. And we're talking about a vast tourism industry. We're talking about a vast ferry transport fleet. We're talking about fire support tugs. We're talking about even the super yachts that wish to come to Sydney for events that need that work done. So if we're going to attract income into our port, if we're going to maintain people's lifestyle to ply the harbour just from Manly to the quay, we need infrastructure. We absolutely have to have infrastructure.